Hello and welcome back. It has been a while, guys, and I don't really know if I have a good reason for that. But before we get into it today, and this is just going to be a very chill stream. There's really there's no aim in mind for this stream. There's no goal. I just want to draw and I want to hang out and I want to talk a little bit and just relax, because these are hard times and people aren't super happy. I'm sure you've had a hard couple of days, probably a hard week or two. And I just feel like letting off some steam, doing some drawing, some joking around, and just generally having a fun time. Maybe therapeutic for some of you out there. So before I get into that, I'm going to just tweet out a link and let people know that we're here, we're streaming, we're hanging out, and yes, today I am going to be reading the chat, so try not to populate it with too much text. No, go ahead, populate it with all the text you want, but before I get into it, let me just share things with people. And how have you all been? It's been a rough couple of weeks, huh? It's not been great, but, you know, obviously everyone in the chat, we've all made it so far. Who knows what the future will bring, but so far we seem to be around. All right, I just went to my Discord server and I see that somebody's already posted the link, so now it's been posted twice. Let me just I'm not going to undo that, because then my promise that I would post the link to the stream is essentially not worth anything. So I'm just gonna leave the double link there. Just gonna share it on Twitter with the folks over there. I'm sure you guys know I'm on Twitter at HappyHarryToons. So let me just do that real quick. And I'll come back to you and see where we are all at. Alrighty, so there we go. That's out in the wide world now. And let me see what the people are saying. Oh boy, it's busy in the chat already. Hey everyone, hey Terranium, hey Vacuum Cleaner, hey Virtual271, Lawrence Griffiths, hey. Very nice. Wow, there's a lot of you, so I can't say hi to everyone, but like I say, there's really no target today. There's nothing in mind particularly. We're just going to draw some characters, and I thought I'd pump out a quick off-model Fred Flintstone for you all. It's been a while since I drew Fred. He looks like he's wearing someone else's hair. Maybe he stole Barney Rubble's hair. The hair isn't very on model, and neither's the hand, actually. That thumb is like freakishly long. I mean, you know, and also the pinky looked like a thumb too. That's just a terribly drawn hand. Why don't we correct that? But I'm open for taking suggestions today, guys. So if you wanna shoot me a suggestion for something to draw, I will gladly take a crack at it. And when I say a crack, I really just mean a crack, because you know, if I don't have reference to hand, it's not going to be anything too special. But of course, you know, if you make a suggestion and you're a super chatter or something like that, I'll try to prioritize that over anyone else, because that's only fair. I have a lovely iced coffee, decaf iced coffee with me, so I'm going to enjoy that. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. All right. So, yeah. People are commenting on the pinky. I know. I did a bad job. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a Bart Simpson. Everyone can draw a Bart. Now, when you draw a head, when you just like turn your brain off and draw a head, do you draw 3/4 looking that way? Or do you draw 3/4 looking that way? Or do you do something else like draw straight on? I pretty much always go with 3/4 looking stage right. So with Bart Simpson, you do a little round ear. You come up and you flare the top of the head slightly, and you do 9 spikes, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how many Bart has. I counted as a kid, and then I felt very vindicated that I heard Matt Groening, however you say his name. I heard him confirm it in an interview where he said that Bart has like 9 spikes. So you drop it down, And you do a little bump. Actually, does he have a bump on both eyebrows? I forget. But little round eyes. The eyes, you know, I used to work in McDonald's, right? And we were always told when we made the burgers that the pickles had to hug, not kiss. Meaning, imagine like you've got, this is pickle 1 here, and this is pickle 2. You know, when you get a McDonald's cheeseburger or whatever, you get 2 pickles, 2 slices of pickle. You couldn't have them kiss. That's kissing, right? Where they're just like touching. Not, I know it's very romantic, but you couldn't have them just kiss. You had to have them hug. You had to have them overlapping slightly. That's what they called hugging. So it's kind of the same with Bart's eyes. You have hugging eyes, not kissing. This is already off model, but I kind of know what I'm doing here. Pupils a bit big there. Obviously, you erase lines you don't want to see. The brow there was a little bit clumsy. And the mouth, he doesn't have like the giant lip. Something like that. This looks like Simpsons Series 1. This is like barely out of the Tracy Ullman trenches. This is Bart before he was drawn on model, okay? Alright, just okay, good. We're good with that. And then what mouth are we going for here? Are we going for man, this is a 1992 bootleg t-shirt from Jamaica Bart, where he'd be like smoking a big spliff. Yeah, this is early Bart. Early Bart. Something like that, I think. I tried drawing The Simpsons a lot as a kid, so like the construction is all there. You know, I remember basically how to draw them, but all the proportions are just slightly off. I love this pose I keep doing, the one arm up pose, the Hanna-Barbera pose. All right, did anyone make any suggestions? I should be checking the chat. This is Bart wants to, I don't know. This is season 1 Simpsons Bart, so he wants to go and like, he wants to go to Krusty Burger, or he wants to kick. That's too orange. That yellow. He wants to kick Lisa off the TV because she's watching the Happy Little Elves. I swear the Happy Little Elves have not been referenced on The Simpsons for a good long time. That was a real kind of an early season thing. Is this t-shirt blue or orange? God damn, that's good. I swear it's orange, right? I swear on a lot of the merchandising, Bart's shirt was always blue or green or red or something else, but I think it's orange in the show. Yeah, that looks right. It's a pretty fat looking Bart. He needs to go to Krusty Burger less. All right. Anthony asks, what would Hogstrong and Kilgar look like as characters from the Cyanide and Happiness? Let me see. Cyanide and Happiness. I mean, I kind of did. I think I did sort of draw. Oh no! For a couple of years ago, I drew. I drew a little birthday card for Zach Hadel, Psychic Pebbles, and I drew Kilgar looking like a character from Hellbenders, and Zach's character from Hellbenders looking like Kilgar, kind of a reverse. I think it's on Twitter somewhere. You can probably find it. I mean, Kilgar would be like something like this, maybe. This is Kilgar and Hogstrong as characters from Cyanide and Happiness. Although maybe he would have a bit of chin. I know the characters in that show, the heads are all round, but I just feel like he would have something going on. Just a little working with a little extra there, because you know. It's like pop vinyls, right? Whenever they have a character with a really distinctive feature, they still have to kind of sculpt it in, even though all the pop vinyls kind of look the same. Something like that, I guess. Then maybe we'll stick with Kilgar, because then I can move on and take care of a suggestion by somebody else. That would be nice. He's got this little tuft of hair. How impressive is this? I'm just about able to remember what my own characters look like. Oh yeah, and he's got the thing. I spoke too soon. I forgot he has the little things coming out the side. There we go. I thought the headpiece didn't look quite right. There we go. This is this chin. It was started off as a big sphere, and we just added to it. I think that's what he needs. So something like that. And do the characters? They do have bodies, right? They have those little stocky bodies. And they have feet. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched a Cyanide and Happiness. I know they have stick arms, but I don't want to give him stick arms. Yeah, there we go. Something like that, maybe. And he's got his sword. I guess that's my interpretation of Kilgar if he appeared in a Cyanide and Happiness cartoon. So I might as well color that in, as I don't see the harm in not coloring that in. Wait, hang on, that was a double negative. I don't see the harm in coloring that in. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So just very basic coloring here, just so that when we look back at our collection of guys later on, we can go, yeah, look, we did Fred, we did Bart, we did Kilgar, and we can reuse some of these colors too. So, and let me see, we want like a lighter gray for the sword. That'll do. And then it's the very obnoxious pairing of luminous yellow and blue for his oh so natural hair color. How does he get it? How does he get it so natural? How does he get that laser yellow and neon sky blue to just look so natural? All right. Well, that's very bad, but. And I think I'll leave the little furry tuft on the shoulder. That's not really a bright enough blue, but tell you what, we want to move on, so why don't I just do that and move on, and we'll worry about it later. So let me just put the cape in, something like that. All right, well there's Kilgar as he would appear in Cyanide and Happiness, something like that. And I guess if you paired him with Hogstrong would have to be, you know, he would have to be a little guy. Hey, Kilgar. All right. Well, let's leave Hogstrong there. That's fine. It's fine for Hogstrong. All right. Let me see now. Make sure I don't miss too many good suggestions from you guys. Connor Conman says, "Would you please draw Ken from Street Fighter?" Street Fighter Ken. Yeah, I can give that a go. Let me see. Now we're not using reference here, folks. So this is gonna be poor. But I want to say Ken has freaking ridiculous eyebrows. That's like the only thing I remember of his anime kind of appearances. I'm gonna go. This is my poor man's Western interpretation of like an Asian anime character. Because you know me, folks. I don't draw the anime. I don't draw the manga, so this is going to be poor, but something like that, huh? Maybe. Now obviously he's got long blonde hair, but like, does he have a fringe? Is it like that? That's a bit Prince Adam. By the power of my Hadoken, I became Ken, master of the Street Fighter tournament. This is my fearless pal, Blanca. Yeah, does he have, or is it more like that? Is it more like the kind of curtain style? I'm gonna go with the bangs. I'm gonna go with the fringe, and I'll pay the ultimate consequence if I'm not right. Damn, I kind of had it. Earlier actually. I'll have to clean up the eyebrow there. That's sort of clipping through the hair. Something like this. Maybe that is too short. Maybe this is Ken from Street Fighter. If you're just joining us, this is my this is like a how to draw manga book by a white Western guy. You know how those things always look slightly off. They're usually not kind of that accurate. You can always tell it was drawn by a Westerner. That's when I try and draw characters that are sort of Asian. art influenced, then you're gonna get that kind of thing. So, okay, and of course he's fucking ripped. Maybe he's not that ripped. He's pretty ripped though, and I guess this hand is gonna be brought up. He's ready to deliver some kind of. Is it the Dragon Punch? Is that Ryu exclusive, or does that work for both of them? I'm not really a Street Fighter guy. I know I had Street Fighter 2 Turbo as a kid, but I don't think I played with Ken much, or Ryu actually. I liked Blanka, because Blanka, he had that move where you just press one button over and over, and he he electrocutes people, and I just cheesed that basically for every match that I did. So, all right. This is dragging on a little too long, but I think it does the trick. And so we'll have that ripped up sleeve on that side, and let's just do a very quick job of coloring our boy Ken here. His hair is looking very voluminous, like he would maybe be in a nice advert for some sort of conditioner or shampoo or something. So I feel proud that we drew a very well coiffed Ken. Is that the word? Is it coiffed? Coiffed? What is that word? When you kind of play with your fringe and make it look all nice and big. Anyway. Alright, well that's my Ken, folks. Ken Masters from Street Fighter. I was going to say Street Fighter 2, because I don't think he's in the first game, is he? That first game, boy. I never played it. I know my friend had it on, I think on the Atari or something. It was like some really old system he had. And the only thing I remember about the game, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't even the version that he had, but it's the terrible voice acting. If you've ever heard like the original Street Fighter 1 voice acting, where the guy's like, I am the strongest warrior. I am going to beat you wherever we meet all over the world. I can't remember the quote, but it's like, you know, it's coming out of like it's incredibly bit crushed, and it sounds like the guy has a very thick accent, and it's all around terrible. But all right, let's grab a skin color here for Ken. That'll do. We're just using the same tone for all of these guys, but that's fine, I think. All right, Ken's hand there got colored in. We don't want that, folks. We do not want Ken's hand colored in bright red like his freaking shirt. And alright, so he's got what? They're like brown kind of, how would you describe them? Are they training gloves? Are they boxing gloves? Are they just these wraps, these leathery wraps that Ken and Ryu have on their hands, so that they can, I guess, punch people and not feel it too bad? But why would that be allowed in the street fight? Isn't that technically armor? Are you allowed to wear armor when you're a street fighter? I suppose you are. Because doesn't M. Bison have some kind of armor on? Vega technically has like a metal mask, so I would say that definitely counts as armor. Why does Vega get away with that? Okay, all right. Let's just finish this guy off, and then we'll move on to something else. So if you guys want to make a suggestion, now is the time, because we're just gonna drop a few very, very loose flat colors into Kenny boy here, into Big Ken, and then I can come back and we can draw somebody maybe a little less challenging for old Harry. How about that? How about something that takes not quite as much time for me to try and draw, because I've been on Ken for like 10 minutes now, and it's a pain in the butt. Also, what color are Ken's eyes? I want to say they're brown, but I don't think I've ever given it that much attention. I would say blue, because he's kind of that all-American, you know, blonde, corn-fed looking dude. But I want to say maybe they're brown. I think I'll make him brown here. All right. Well, there's my Ken, and my very badly planned out, not sketched before I started, just freehand crappy Ken. All right. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my impression of anime, guys. I will fight you. All right, let's see. Draw a space marine, please. Oh boy, haha. Who said that? Eric Forrester. Hey, Connor, you're very welcome. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Alright. I don't like all the billowing out of Ken's hair here. Let me just fix that. It's very anal of me. Doesn't warrant being fixed, but there we go. I feel like that looks maybe a little tiny bit better. A Space Marine, you know, until recently I could not draw Space Marines, guys. The reason I can draw Space Marines now is because I worked on the new Flash Kids cartoon, where I had to draw many Space Marines. In fact, all the Space Marines pretty much that you see in that cartoon were drawn by me. At least they were drawn by me and then polished slightly by Don of the Flash Kids. But I can draw a Space Marine for sure. So it may not be as good as Don's, now that I've said that. But it's going to be something like this, folks. This is going to be a quick Space Marine, I think. I hope. Okay, so let me see. It's like got the round helmet with the angry brow, and is that too angry? You can see why Don had to polish all my Space Marines up now. Hang on. Oh boy, there's me all cocky like, yeah, I can draw you a Space Marine, boy. And then right off the bat I go, how many eyes does a Space Marine have? Okay, something like that for the mouth, which I feel they got from Darth Vader. I don't know when Games Workshop started doing its thing, but I'm pretty sure it was post Star Wars. And I feel like the kind of scuba mouth thing that the Space Marines have was like a little Darth Vader, not homage, more like just a rip-off. But yeah, they kind of look like Darth Vader without the helmet part of the getup. All right, well this is not getting off to a good start, really. This is a Space Marine, if you can't tell, but we're drawing it. This is why you should sketch, guys. This is why you should do like a loose kind of blue or gray sketch. Maybe you can draw over the top of and then erase the construction lines later on. This is a Space Marine that's been dropped on its head a couple of times. Maybe it's a plastic model that was melted with a magnifying glass in the garden. But all right, you get the idea. This is not so hot. I know this. I know. You don't need to tell me. But they have the huge shoulder pads, something like that. And they got the big round chests, like that. And the cables that like run along their bellies. Big old shoulder pads. They're basically all shoulder pads. So take from that what you will. Pretty much, they're all shoulders. I don't know what these guys look like underneath their armor. They're regular human beings, right? But they've maybe had a lot of steroids or genetic mods or something like that to make them look extra weird. I don't know. I'm not gonna. The guns are a big old pain in the butt to draw. I'm not gonna draw a big gun. I just imply that he has a gun. See, you would definitely see it if I carried on drawing. You'd definitely see a big gun, but I'm not gonna do that today. Okay, and that's like their insignia that they have. Well, that's the one that we ended up drawing in the cartoon. I can't remember what the actual, like, if all the Space Marines have that. We'll color this guy in because he's looking a little bit worse for wears. He's a little bit disappointing. So we'll color him in, try and save him a little bit, but there we go. I tell you what, maybe I could just, if I could just fix that head slightly, I may be able to salvage him just a little bit better. Let me just see if I can come in and try not to make it actively worse. I feel like that may be worse now. Well, you know, guys, we've pumped out a few characters so far today, so we can have some off-color ones. I'm just going to smooth that out slightly, see if that helps any with the sort of shapes that we're going for here. And And just really quickly, we'll lay down some colors for this old Space Marine. Get him colored in. I don't know if the insignia's on that shoulder. I think it's on the other one, but whatever, we'll make do. So we're doing the gray black Space Marines, which is the ones that I'm used to drawing, because that's what I was drawing recently. They're pretty much all black, with save for they got the white shoulder pads and a couple other bits on them are white, I think. Why is that not filling in? Man, that's the one downside of being so fast and loose with the drawing. It's like you can't fill any big areas in because you have these giant gaps. You get the idea, folks. This is just a formality now. I'm just coloring in because I'm embarrassed by the drawing. The more that we can hide the drawing with big dark areas of color, the less bad I'm gonna feel. Okay? Alright, there we go. See? I've hidden some of that terrible drawing from your eyes. Now you think I'm a great artist and I've totally saved myself from shame. What a good job I've done. Alright, and I guess it's like silvery gray bits kind of on them on the backpack and stuff. Oh boy. Why is that not filling in? There we go. There we go. We're speeding through it now. Oh man, look how long these are taking, and they're terrible. And that's, you know, less work than I'd put into an individual animation frame. So I'm just saying, appreciate animators, okay? Okay? Even to make something terrible can take a lot of effort and a lot of work. All right, and we're gonna make those eyes a blinding brilliant red. You know, I've painted a couple of toy Space Marines in my time. When I was a kid, I was into Warhammer, and the thing I loved doing, and it was very difficult to do, but I loved making the eyes red because they always popped. And what I loved more than that was going in after the fact, right? Once you've already painted the eyes red, go in, you do a little highlight. Oh yeah, I thought that always looked so fucking cool. Excuse my French. So there you go. He's a bit too wide. Let's squish him a little bit. Maybe that a little bit. That looks a little bit better. All right, so we got Fred Flintstone. We got Bart Flintstone. We got Kilgar Flintstone. Ken Flintstone. And we got a Flintstone Marine. Who's about to scream yabba dabba doo. So I am happy now. I am happy to take on another suggestion, guys. Let me see. The Taco Tube. Hey man. Hey, good to talk to you again. I didn't know if I should say your real name, seeing as you're not using it in the chat. But are you taking random suggestions, or is there a submission process? He asks. You guys can just stick it in the chat wherever you want. You just tell me if you want me to draw something. I'll try to give it a go. Hey, thank you, Eric Forrester. Thank you for saying it looks really nice. It doesn't look very nice, but... Hey, Parthenix. This is Adobe Animate from 2017. It's pretty much... yeah, it's pretty much like the standards that I use for a lot of my animation. Draw Egoraptor says, I can't read your name. Oh, Kawaii Hentai Sama. No, I'm not going to draw Egoraptor. I've already drawn Ken. So all we would need to do for Egoraptor is we would basically need to take the same color we've used for the glove, and we make the hair that color, and we've got Egoraptor. And you just put a nice streak in the hair. Except Egoraptor is more jacked than Ken. So, no need for that. Draw Swamp Thing, says Davy88. Yeah, absolutely, dude. And Destro, too. Oh, boy, I don't think I can draw Destro, but I can try it. I'll try Swamp Thing and maybe Destro. Now, Swamp Thing I don't think I can draw off the top of my head, but... I'm going to just sort of go for something Swamp Thing-esque. Because I feel like it could kind of work. You know what? Why don't I sketch it? How about that, Harry? Here's a novel idea. Okay. Here's a novel coronavirus idea. How about you just... This is, you know... So this is my sketch. It looks like Grassman, basically. Alright, so Swamp Thing is just basically a big swamp guy. He comes out the swamp. That's his deal. He lives in the swamp. And he had a very bad cartoon that came out in the early 90s. I think only ran for 5 episodes. But it still sort of filtered its way into my head as a kid. If anyone remembers the theme tune for the Swamp Thing TV show, it went, Swamp Thing, ding, 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 ding. You something like you make my heart sing, ding, ding. Anyway, it was Wild Thing by, who was that by? Wild Thing, ding, ding. Was it the Stooges, or was it Manfred Mann? Who did the original Wild Thing? Anyway, it was the song Wild Thing, and they just changed the words to Swamp Thing, which is pretty cool, right? It's pretty smart. But as a young kid, I grew up thinking that song was called Swamp Thing. So whenever I heard, the real version, I was like, why have they changed it to Wild Thing? Why have they messed with the lyrics? Don't they know that the song is about Swamp Thing? Have they not seen the Swamp Thing cartoon that ran for 5 episodes? So I can't really remember what Swamp Thing looks like. He's just a big green mess of so I'm going to say he's got some vines maybe growing off of his body. Stuff like that. And I'm sure he'd be coming out of the swamp and grabbing you for polluting or whatever. And he'd be covered in goop from the swamp. This is not a very dynamic pose. He's reaching for somebody else. He's not reaching for you. He's not bothered with you. You're cool. You're just doing some fishing in the bayou, and he's after somebody else, some other punk. I've never seen the Swamp Thing movies. There was a new Swamp Thing TV show, right? I didn't see that either. Was it any good? I think that it ran again for about the same amount of episodes as the cartoon. somewhere like single digits. So I'm assuming it wasn't that great, but I don't know. So there we go. So I guess we should probably put in the head. I guess that's kind of important. So I think he has kind of a human brow, doesn't he? Let's go in here and really lay in some details. He has like a real human eyes. Yeah, there we go. That's like a Swamp Thing. And then he has that weird, that's the one thing I was confident I could draw, is that weird mouth, where it's like his nose, it's kind of weirdly like this guy. He's got that sort of nose, he's got that nose that's sort of, it's almost like the skin is peeled away or something. And then he's got his like big, scary swamp teeth showing. I don't know if he has a visible chin or not. Well, there you go. It's not great, but that's my... I'll do like another vine coming up here. Oh, it looks weird now. I tell you, maybe some coloring again will fix it, but he's got like leaves and goop falling off of him. Okay, and we've got a little bit more maybe hanging off the elbow here. All right, that's Swamp Thing. Okay, and he is not happy. You're in a swamp. You shouldn't be in a swamp. He's trying to keep it all nice. He's played by Mike Myers, and he has a Scottish accent, and he's not happy about you being in his swamp. And he hangs out with a donkey played by Eddie Murphy. All right, well, let's color in this poor man's Swamp Thing, and see if we can salvage it. I don't think we can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some really quick bits of brown there, coming in there like that, because these are the vines that sort of make up his, I don't know, his vascular sort of system, his veins and stuff. Instead of veins, he's got vines. So obviously Swamp Thing, big fan of vines. Very upset when the app closed down. Couldn't get used to TikTok. That's part of the reason he's just so unhappy these days. Poor old tragic Swamp Thing. And he's mostly green. So we're going to put that in there. He is Grassman, essentially. Yeah, Grassman. I was trying to remember the name of the character from Bowstar. Because Grassman is a parody of Mossman, but I forget which one I made up. I forget which one is the parody, because they're so similar. Grassman is the parody, Mossman is the character from He-Man that basically turns into shrubberies and things. He's a pretty interesting character. Alrighty, so that's Moss. Wait, hang on. That's Swamp Thing. And that's as good as I could do under very restrictive conditions. Under lockdown. There you go. That's Swamp Thing. I feel like maybe that would be better, right? If we kind of had his mouth area sort of in shadow. Is that even close to being accurate for Swamp Thing? I feel like it's not. But all right, he's way too bright green, but whatever. He's like Disco Swamp Thing, okay? Hey, a very generous super chat. Oh boy, guys. Well, I gotta handle the super chat. I meant to get to Destro, but I got a super chat from Comic Tropes. How about some Ninja Turtles? Says Chris of Comic Tropes. How about you mean multiple Ninja Turtles? Can I not copy paste and just change the color of their of their bandanas and stuff? Yes. All right, Ninja Turtles it is. We'll get rid of Grassman here. Get him, Grassman. All right. Well, I'm sure I've drawn Ninja Turtles before on live stream. You need to. What am I gonna do that is just you've not seen a million times before? Yeah. Can I get some guidelines? Chris? Because I don't know. If I don't get some guidelines, it's gonna come out like this. It's gonna be like, do you want him doing something in particular? Gotta save April. There's no saving April, man. April and March are completely doomed. Maybe May. Things will start to get back to normal. I hope. Any turtle is fine. Well, that's a good job, Chris, because I'm drawing any turtle right now. In fact, I have no idea who this is. We're going to have to find out later on. This is a friendly looking turtle here. This is the kind of cereal box turtle from 1992, I think. This is probably a hero turtle. This is a European version which was not allowed to have nunchucks. That's how friendly this guy is. Now, we've drawn the head. It's not terrible. It's not great. Why don't we save this just a little bit? Because this is looking a bit flat. And Chris was very generous in supporting me with a super chat. So we've got to do something special with this guy, I think. Okay. People are saying it's Raph. People are saying it's Mikey. No one is saying it's Venus de Milo. No one's saying Venus. Someone's saying it's got goofy eyes, though. So I'm going to go and fix these eyes. Although I think I've just essentially redrawn them, looking exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get like a better looking body and see if we can sort of see if we can do something with this. So I need to know who I'm drawing now. Yes. I guess we're going with Michelangelo. I'm sorry. I was lazy. Does he have a wrap around his wrist, or is it just around the... Let's just say it's just around the elbow there. So I guess this is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle after all, seeing as he's got the nunchucks. And we'll have him maybe under this arm here. It's gonna give him like a skateboard or something. Why don't I know what we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him a turtle's favorite food, and everyone knows what that is. A chili dog. There we go. Gonna give him a chili dog. Now, all right, we'll give him a pizza. We'll put some cheese flying away. So there we go. Now we've sketched a body in, kind of. We can go and maybe do something a little better with this. We'll put in some shading. We'll try and make it look really nice, okay? Actually, no, shading like cross-hatching is not a good idea in Flash, because you're not going to be able to color it super easily later on, so... So, I hope you guys are doing alright. Wherever in the world you are, if you're with your families or if you're somewhere else on your own, I know things are really pretty crap right now. And the crappiest thing about them, usually when things are crap, you have kind of a time scale of when they're going to get better again, you know? You can look and think, well, you know, things suck right now, but in 2 months or whatever, I'll have a new job, or I'll be done with school, or I'll, you know, my gout may have cleared up, or whatever it is that's causing you problems. But one of the reasons I think people are hurting right now so badly is that we don't know when this crap's going to go away. Of course, I am talking about the movie Bloodshot starring Vin Diesel. It's still in cinemas. It won't go away. No, I kid, but like, yeah, things stink right now, and I really hope you're all taking care of yourselves and, you know, doing what the experts suggest, and not just taking care of yourselves physically, although that's obviously very important, but taking care of yourselves emotionally and mentally, and doing the things you enjoy, and talking to the people that you love, and hanging on in there, cause shit be crazy. As our British Prime Minister said today on TV. Alright, I don't know what nunchucks look like. This looks like a one of those, you know, rave sticks that like you snap and it kind of starts to glow. Well, you know what's always a pain in the ass to draw? Chain. Never fun to draw. There's just no like shorthand for it, unless I literally did like that, like I probably should have done. It's always just a pain in the butt because there's no hiding the fact that you're rushing it. I cannot hide the fact that I just rushed through that right now, which was not really fair. I shouldn't have rushed through it, seeing as Comic Tropes was very supportive and gave me a good super chat. But the name of the game here is speed. We want to make sure that we get to a whole bunch of things today, and hopefully try and brighten up the days of a couple of people. So, all right. So let me see. He's got basically the chest shell is always kind of just like a big yellow shell, right? And then I don't know how the shell on the back kind of works, but something like that. Haha, this big lumpy thing there. And finally, let's just go out with a bang. Put that pizza in there. Do they have? Oh, I drew too many fingers. Oh boy. Right? They have less fingers than that, I think. See, I should have known this. I'm sure some of you people in the chat were going, Harry! I don't know why you sound like a disapproving Jewish grandpa. Harry, what are you doing with the too many fingers? Harry, yeah, okay. So I think that's what we're working with, right? All right. Something like that, which looks wrong. Doesn't look like you get a particularly good grip on that, but you know, he's not completely on the attack right now. He's just maybe warding off somebody who's coming at him with a fork. They're coming at him with a fork because they want to eat a piece of his pizza. And he's just like looking over his shoulder like, you, get away from me. Okay, so we've got to do something about these fingers because now we've got too many on the pizza hand over here. And I need that a good bit of. I kind of can't really do it, sort of disguised by the nunchucks there, but nice goopy piece of pizza. You know, I was gonna go for a pizza tonight. Actually, I nearly ordered one, and Joyce kind of talked me down from it, and I'll never forgive her for that. Honestly, the love is now gone. No, I'll probably just get like a burger or something tomorrow. Trying to eat better, trying to get takeaway less, and honestly, the kind of health scare at the moment makes me a little less excited at the prospect of having people, you know, strangers prepare food for me. But I only slightly less interested in that. So my level of interest in having strangers prepare food for me is still at a staggeringly high level. So there we go. There is, let's color him in and we'll confirm once and for all who the masked culprit is. Yep, now, because he's wearing orange, that is 100% Michael Michelangelo. And does he have other straps and stuff on him? I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. Frankly, we should probably just wrap this guy up. And, he's not too bad from memory, but I mean, it was one of those things I could just kind of draw a little bit from memory, I guess, because I grew up with these guys, and they're always in my life, the turtles. I have a very vivid memory, actually. This never ever happened when I was a kid, except for one time. My mum knew I was into the turtles. Let me see, it must have been around 91, 92. She knew I was into them. I would have been about 3 or 4 years old. And I have this memory of her coming home from town, and she'd been to the store, and I was laying on my fat little kid belly drawing, and she said, "Oh, I've got a surprise for you," and she just laid down in front of me all 4 of the toys, all 4 of the original action figures, not like a special edition. They weren't cowboys or, you know, spacemen or anything. It was the 4 generic turtles, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I hadn't had to go and beg her for them, and they'd magically found their way into my life without me even needing to ask for them. Maybe I had asked for them, but I certainly didn't expect to get all 4 at once. I wasn't a hugely spoiled kid, but that was just one instance where, for sure, I was hugely spoiled. And I remember, I mean, I'm still talking about it now, aged 102. That was obviously a big deal for my little kid brain. It blew a gasket there, and it's prevented me from maturing, I suppose. But yeah, that was a big deal. I was a big mark for the turtles when I was a kid. Really loved those green boys. And I've not seen the new show, but I will say from the clips I've seen that I think the animation looks really nice. The new kind of hand-drawn. It looks a little bit like Flash in places, but it basically is a hand-drawn show. I don't know. I don't like how that pizza came out. This is a bit too yellow, but we'll roll with it, and then we'll make that the crust color. There we go. And now we'll have some very red-looking pieces of pepperoni. And then we should probably move on and draw something. Oh, I'm scribbling all over the pepperoni. You don't want to scribble over the pepperoni. Mama will be very unhappy. So we should probably move on. But I'll do something about the shell on his back, because that one needs to be filled in, I think. And of course, the nunchaku, which we're gonna put in with brown. It's like we're coloring in a t-shirt or something. We're gonna use very few colors to get this guy over the line. Just a little bit of brown, a little bit of gray, maybe there. Feel like maybe those colors, the brown and gray, could be inverted, but that looks okay to me. The gray there on the fork, the dangerous fork coming in. I hate sharing food with people. Don't you hate sharing food with people? And honestly, even people I love, I can love them more than anything in the world, but the minute I have to give them like an extra French fry or something, it really steams me up. All right, well there's There's Big Mikey. There's Kirby, the 5th turtle. And, and I guess I should be taking on another suggestion. Because, we're at a point now where we can do that. So, we got Fred. We got Bart. Hey, Bart. We got Kilgar in Hogstrong in Cyanide and Happiness style. Although you can see I may be slacked on Hogstrong just a tad. We've got Ken from Street Fighter. Spice Marine. Really lackluster looking Swamp Thing. It's like he's just reaching for the I don't know, reaching for a t-shirt in the wardrobe. He looks very unenthused. And Big Mikey. Mikey boy. I'm seeing things. People are suggesting things that I can't draw. Like Optimus Prime. Sorry, Davy88. There's no way I can draw Optimus Prime from memory. Yes. I think... man. A 2D Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, that's going to be tough for me. That's a train. You can't ask me to draw a train. Captain Crash. What is Captain Crash? Is that Crash Nebula from the Fairly Odd Parents? Oh, all these characters I can't draw. I can't draw anything from after like 1995. Kratos from the God of War is Destro. Oh, okay. Spider-Man and Destro. Spider-Man I know I can do. Destro I'm going to do and I'm going to fail because I don't have like... I don't have my... I know he's silver, right? He's got like... He's got an angry silver head. And... Like that. That's Destro's head. And then he has this really rather fey fur collar. It's honestly... It's a little ostentatious. I don't know who came up with that design, but... I mean, that's essentially my Destro. You may think this is just a sketch, and I'm just leaving out details, but I can't think of anything other. I don't know if he has gloves on, if he has like wristy like cufflinks or something. I don't know what he has. If you want to give me any more pointers on what Destro looks like, I will come back to this and do it in a minute. Let me try Spidey, because I have in a very anal retentive way as a teenager, I memorized Spidey's outfit pretty well. So I think I can draw him without sketching him. So let's give Spidey a go. All right. Let's give old Webhead a go. Now the anatomy is not going to be great on this, guys, because, well, A, it's anatomy. It's hard. But 2, I'm just going to try and burn through this guy real quick. No sketching, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to try to draw... Going to try and just draw the body. And we're going to come back to the costume part of Spidey's design in a minute. All right? That arm looks a bit terrible. All right. So that's one Spidey arm done. And then we're going to have the Spidey head here, back all the way back here. Oh no, that's you can't get too anatomical with Spider-Man's head. It really does just look better as like a big smooth egg. Just whenever people put in too much detail, it's like, no, I don't like seeing Spider-Man's nose. I can't tell you why. I don't want to see his eyebrow ridge and his nose. So I've tried to foreshorten this bad boy, and I don't know if it's really paying off here. Do I want the leg down there, or do I want the leg? Maybe I want the leg out at the side. Yeah, this is a bit strange looking. You could say it was horrifically bad, or you could just say a bit strange looking. I'd rather you describe it as just a bit strange looking, but I'm just trying to get that thigh to like not, yeah, okay. Alright, well I've foreshortened my way into a terrible hole here, where it's possible that I've drawn Spider-Man without any abdomen, which you know, he's gonna need if he wants to defeat his arch nemesis Mary Jane. But we can get through the rest of it here. It's not too bad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this most of this leg here in shadow, and then hopefully the rest of the arm over here on the other side will pop a little bit better. So let's put that into shadow like that, and then we can do the outfit now. Spidey has I'm trying to remember. Okay, it's down the backs of the arms, a red streak, and then it turns into the gloves, and then it comes back up and like arcs into the chest. So again, on this side, it's the same thing. Back of the arms turns into the glove. He's got the big old... Actually, I don't like the big eyes on Spidey. That's a bit... I don't know. It's a bit too big for my liking. I like a kind of a humble, modest Spider-Man eye. We're going just a little bit smaller there on him. And I don't know if I like this weird shape too. It's getting a bit Todd McFarlane around here. I don't like it. Maybe it's a little nothing-y really, but yeah, it's me saying I can draw Spider-Man, and maybe I can't. Okay, something like that's better. Yeah, it's better, right? Kind of hooks up there at the bottom. Okay, all right, that's good for me. I like that enough. And then we're gonna put shadow around here to try and hide. Basically, we're trying to hide the absolute catastrophe I did with the anatomy by putting a load of black in here. And then we've got the boot on that side too. So something like that. Something like that. I'll tell you what, we'll come back to this in a minute. Now the head is a bit round. I'll just trim just a little bit of that head off. And now we're going to come in with the red and the blue. I read somewhere that red and blue was one of the most popular color combinations for famous characters. You got Superman, you got Spider-Man, you got Mickey Mouse if you were to color him blue. But it's a color that a lot of people, it's a color combination I should say, that a lot of people like to see. Optimus Prime, again, red and blue. Gundam, got a lot of red and blue in those guys. I think they're really popular characters that have red and blue in them. There's got to be more examples, but right now I'm tapped out. His ridiculous pointy foot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with a blue. I don't want it to be like this ugly royal blue too much. Just something a little bit subdued, maybe. Harry, come on. That's maybe not the right blue. And there's a little bit more green in it than that. Now, of course, the webbing, right? The webbing, you're thinking, Harry, that's tantamount to sacrilege to leave off the webbing. I mean, you're not an episode of the 1960s cartoon where you're going to leave off the webbing for some shots because you're, very lazy and also horribly pressed for time and probably working yourself into an early grave. The reason I've left the webbing off is because it's going to be a massive pain in the buttoosh if I had to do the webbing and then do all the color fills. So what we can do is now we can do all the webbing, right? Something like that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do all the fancy all the fancy sort of patterns, like the kind of scooped patterns that they do with the webbing. I'm just going to do very simple, lazy webbing. So that's me saying I was avoiding being lazy, but you know the kind of thing we're going for here. I know it's actually more like that. It's more like fish scales, but that's just, it's going to take a long time, and I'm lazy. So, well, there you go. There he is, Ben Reilly himself. Now the last thing I'm going to do on this bad boy is some webs, because come on, man, Spider-Man without webs, it's like a dog without a bone, a cigarette without a bone, or a Spider-Man without a match. You gotta have some freaking webs, man. And we're gonna have like one back here. That's not too, come on, man, that ain't too bad. Didn't even sketch it, just free-handed that sumbitch out. And we're gonna have, of course, this, if you've ever read a Spider-Man comic, you know the sound that his webs make when he fires them is snicked. And he's like and he's his favorite catchphrase. Hey, bub. Snicked. He's off obviously to save Lois Lane. I think. I don't know if I like this mess of like crap there coming out of the web. I'll get rid of Hey Bub too. No, I'll leave that. All right, well there we go. There's Spidey. I think that's a pretty good Spidey. I'm pretty happy with that. We got Destro that we could not. I can't finish Destro. I'm gonna look a picture of Destro up. This is Destro from G.I. Joe. Destro. G.I. Joe. I'm just typing this on my other monitor here because we want to take a look at him. I'm basically there. I've remembered the key things. He has the big silly hood. Okay, well it looks like there's some inconsistency with his design over the years, but that's given me enough of a starting point. All right. Well, I'm gonna try now to finish Destro, and then I'll probably do one more. And that may be it, actually, guys. I don't know if I need to do all that much more, but we'll certainly finish Destro, and I will certainly finish one more after that. So make sure you have some good ideas for me, for things that you actually think I may be able to draw. This is Destro from G.I. Joe. And he is one bad customer. And I mean literally, he's a bad customer. He'll shop at your store and then he'll never come back. But he'll leave you a bad review. Because he's just that kind of guy. So somebody, I don't know why he has a metal head. I don't really know much about G.I. Joe lore. But he has a metal head. So we're going to draw one. I don't know why he has metal ears. That seems unusual. I did see the very bad 2009 G.I. Joe movie. And I remember in that movie he was Christopher Eccleston. And he just sort of grew a metal head. it just grows out of nowhere. I think he gets hit with some kind of experimental gas or something. And his head turns metal. I can't remember why. So the shine is to let you know it's metal. So this is too big of a head. What we're going to do is scale that down because he looks like he's about 12 right now. Typically characters are not very imposing if they have very big heads. It's more of like a sort of trait of youth. So if we instead give him a smaller head and kind of bigger body, he'll look a little bit more imposing, a little bit more powerful. We're going to do something here about this eye bag that I've rendered a little bit too, oh dear, a little bit too kind of cavalier there. Let's make that a little something. It's not really an eye bag. I just want this is sort of like a sunken recess. I want his eyes to look tired. He's been watching too much Recess on Disney Plus. All right, well, whatever. I'll stop fussing with this now because we want to move on. So he's got this ridiculous furry collar that honestly, he needs to get some fashion advice from like Shipwreck or someone who actually looks cool. I watched was it the Toys That Made Us documentary about G.I. Joe a while ago? I think that's the name of the show on Netflix, and they have that really. It's got a really great moment where they talked about how they were designing the old G.I. Joe action figure lineup, and they were told that they had too much paint on the figures. They had to get rid of the paint, and they had to get rid of something like 10% of the paint used, and they didn't want to do that because that would make the toy line look sort of 10% less appealing. And rather than do that, they instead opted to, instead of taking 10% off of every character, they took 10% off of. Sorry, they took 100% off of one character, which was Snake Eyes. They took all the paint off Snake Eyes and made him solid black. And then, I don't know if this is an apocryphal tale or if it's actually true, but that's what they said in the documentary, that it ended up making the most popular character because you have this very cool, badass looking character all in black, who is the ninja character in G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, played in the movie by Ray Park, who was Darth Maul in Star Wars. And I saw Ray Park at the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con. In fact, he was probably promoting the movie, actually, because it came out that year. And I saw him in the Hilton bar that was just adjacent to the Comic-Con. And I would have gone and said hello, but honestly, didn't want to annoy him. He is Darth Maul, after all. And also, I don't know, you see a famous person, what are you going to say? Hello? Hello, you are famous. I am not. It's nice to smell you. I'm happy to just let him do his thing and enjoy him from afar. Also, I got very, very drunk that night. Maybe the drunkest I've ever been. I don't remember anything about that evening. I ended up waking up in a hotel room that wasn't mine. I was not sodomized, which I think is probably a stroke of luck. And didn't have my kidneys removed. But yeah, I got very, very drunk. Maybe I did go and meet Ray Park. That's the thing now. I was so drunk I don't remember. It's very possible that I'll get you, G.I. Joe. I should have put a gun or something in his hand, but he's just instead angrily yelling at the kids, the G.I. Joes that just ran across his lawn. But yeah, maybe I did meet Ray Park that night. I was so blind drunk that I don't remember a freaking thing. Alright, well there we go. There's Destro from G.I. Joe. And his I don't think his outfit is always that shiny, but I was having fun there doing the shading on Spider-Man, so I wanted to keep up with that. What we're going to do is we're going to put the gray kind of chrome look on him too, which is going to be something like, we'll just do this very sloppy and lazy because it's the kind of cat that I am. I don't know if he has weird robotic eyes or anything. I don't know if he has kind of does he have red eyes or something, Destro? I did look at a picture of him earlier for reference, and now I can't remember at all what he looks like. He looks. Oh, that lighting is like, it's coming from every direction there on the face. I didn't really think the face shading through very much, but he's a villain. He doesn't need or warrant our attention. We don't have to make him look nice and adequately drawn. And of course, I keep going back to it, and I've not colored it in yet. The ludicrous red collar that Destro wears. And something like that. I think he has some big pimp medallion too, but too late. I'm onto the coloring stage now, and we'll just put a little bit of flesh tone in there, just so you know that he's showing a lot of chest. he should be called Chestro, honestly. And it looks like he's done plenty of rows with those big juicy pecs. Lots of pec flies and seated rows and all that kind of stuff to keep you in shape. So there we go. There's my Destro. I'm going to give him yellow eyes, which may not be on point, but I think it looks good with the red, black, and white. And ooh, okay. People are testing me here. Let me see. Beetlejuice, the cartoon version. Oh boy. Wow, Melody. That's a test. That's a test and a half. Because I watched that show a lot as a kid, but I don't know if I can do the guy any justice. See, for some reason, he's one of those designs that I just, you know, it sat in my brain, but I couldn't access it. Let's see now. Let me see. Let's see. So. Okay, so this is Beetlejuice from the cartoon. Okay, this is me. This is from memory, guys. Remember that. So it's gonna be off. Babes. Okay. Does he have lips? Does he have visible lips? Oh, I don't know. Oh boy. Oh man. It's something like. Hang on. It's all coming back to me now. I don't think his head is quite that fat looking. I think maybe it's a bit more. Like, he does have a visible neck. I think the hair kind of. Damn. Oh, I can't do it from memory. I can. It's something like that. Oh God. It's just embarrassing to like finish it off now because it's like, well, it's okay. We know it doesn't look like Beetlejuice, but it looks like Beetlejuice, but it looks, you know, that's all it looks like. It doesn't look like the specific animated Beetlejuice that you know and love. Okay, something like. Is it maybe like that? Does the hair come out maybe? No, this is embarrassing, guys, but please remember. Please remember, it's all from memory. Okay. Okay, well there we go. I have not come up for air in a while, guys. I've not read the chat. I'm sorry, but I should. I was so hopeful I could do a halfway decent job on this, but of course, Beetlejuice's famous polka dot suit. No, I'm not that far off the mark. I remember at least that he wears stripes. He's a big fan of Robin Thicke, I guess. Oh, that's a joke from 2013, whenever that was. The Robin Thicke wearing the Beetlejuice suit. How current of you, Harry. All right, whatever. I think the arms, the arms probably have like horizontal stripes like that. Yeah. All right. I can't get away with being quite that lazy on the stripe front. Okay, so that's my very poor off model Beetlejuice. I think the colors will probably help it a little bit because I feel like I have a better recollection of the colors of the suit. Oh, sorry, the colors of the character with the, like, he's got like, doesn't he have like green skin in the cartoon? Does he have lips? I don't know if I want to give him lips. Yeah, maybe he does actually. Maybe we will give him colored lips. That seems to be ringing a bell. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna give him dark purple rings around his eyes, and then we're gonna go with a lighter purple for the skin, and like a yellow for the hair. Ooh, it's maybe a little bit too purple there. Oh, it's not. Yeah, he's not that color, is he? Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I'm gonna finish up Beetlejuice very soon, and then I'm gonna draw one more thing. Okay? I'm gonna draw one more thing. And I want you to tell me what it should be, as has been the way we've been doing it today. If it's good, I'll pick it and we'll do it, and that'll be the last thing on the stream. Okay? Really appreciate you all coming by today and hanging out with your boy, Happy Harry. Give him, I think he does have kind of funky eyes. They're not that green. Let me just do him yellow there. That's a bit better. We'll put the tongue, make it pink like his shirt, and then the hair again will be, well, there we go. That's my Beetlejuice from memory. I think you can definitely tell who the character is, but it is sort of not really exactly on point. But there we go. Patrick Long there with the deep cut, remembering Double Dibble Da. Goran says it's Ursula cosplaying as Beetlejuice. That's cruel. I don't know what to tell you there. That's cruel, son. Maybe accurate. All right. Well, there we go. That's Beetlejuice. So, Davy88 is correct that there have been no ladies yet. These have all been fellas. Godzilla or Mothra? I mean, technically Mothra is female, but I don't feel like that's... Oh, Lawrence Griffiths with the Jessica Rabbit recommend. Okay. Alright, we'll try Jessica. I think I can do Jess. Big Jess, as she's known. Okay, alright. And then we can call it a day, I think, at that point, guys. You had plenty money, 1922. Boom, boom. Let me see. We're just trying to get that ridiculous shape that she has. I remember watching... I remember watching Roger Rabbit when I was a kid with my grandma in the room, and when my grandma had never seen it, and when Jessica Rabbit like first appeared, you would think my grandma would have some kind of problem with it, like she'd say, "Oh, you know, what are you watching this for?" But she was cool, and in fact, she watched it with me, and she went, "Oh, I wish I had a body like that." And it really stuck with me. I was probably about 10 years old, but I remember thinking, Yeah, I don't want you to have a body like that, Grandma. That would be awful. That would be the worst possible thing you could possibly do to me. Imagine my grandma's head on Jessica Rabbit's body, which is not what I'm going to be drawing today, guys. Okay? We're not drawing Jessica Rabbit's body with my grandmother's head. I'll draw that, in my own time off the stream. So I don't even know if we're showing her front or her back yet. I guess we're showing her back. So them big old eyes. Basically no nose. She got the lips. And she got the boobs. Alright, so if we were to continue, we could shrink her down actually a little bit and just get a little bit more of her shape in. I don't think her ass is quite that big. I may have exaggerated Jessica Rabbit's proportions, which is not really necessary, but oh fuck it. We'll go with what we had originally. Screw it. All right. So that's my very rough sketch there of Big Jessie R, and we'll fill her in as nicely as we can. But guys, I really appreciated you coming by today and hanging out with me while I did a bit of drawing. Very nice of you. Like I say, these are not happy times for a lot of us, and that's okay. Well, it's not okay, it's terrible, but I do believe that for the most part we're gonna get through it okay. I just got to be extra vigilant at the moment. Make sure you make good decisions. Stay clean. Stay sharp. Make good decisions. I don't know how many fingers Jessica Rabbit has. Is it the whole 5, or is it the classic animated 3 and a thumb? I don't know, but I'm gonna go with the 5. I feel like that's probably a safer bet. And the hair was always like that, right? Feel like a big sweep. She had a very high hairline, Jessica Rabbit. Almost balding. And her hair was just like a big, a big dog's tongue, you know, and just this big old thing hanging off her head. Me holding my breath while I draw the boobs like a creep. Was it more low cut than that? I don't know. Was it, maybe there wasn't that? We're just giving it way too much thought here. We'll come back to the boobs. We always do. Okay. Have you guys ever seen the Jessica Rabbit Jessica Rabbit mascot costume they have in Disney World? I don't think they use it very often. In fact, I doubt they'll use it again unless they have some kind of, you know, Roger Rabbit like 50th anniversary or something. But it's really creepy, man. Look up Jessica Rabbit mascot or Jessica Rabbit costume Disney World. You would think that they could probably get an actress to play the character just with some heavy makeup and a bit of strategic padding, let's say. Because the character is, you know, I know she's a cartoon, but she's a sort of humanoid character. She doesn't look like Roger. And no, instead they went with a full suit and mask over the face. And it's really disturbing looking. I don't know what to tell you. It's not attractive. Maybe they didn't want to turn on too many dads with, you know, having a Jessica that looked too good. Maybe that was a factor. I honestly wouldn't be surprised, but she's absolutely horrific looking. Don't really remember what her eyes look like. Probably lower down on the head, aren't they? Oh, she looks like Droopy. That was my Droopy impression. Going up, sir. Yeah, this let me just get into a different headspace here. This is This is having some problems. All right, Jess. All right, Jess. Alright, folks. This is going to be the last one today, because your boy, he's starting to get tired. Getting worn out. Getting worn out with the drawings. And my Jessica rabbits are starting to look more like Herman the baby. She's a bit young looking, but I think that's probably the best head that I can draw right now. Not quite on model with the actual movie. But I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Boom, boom. Alright, so let's color in big old Jess. And, well, let me see. She's got that kind of reddy, auburny colored hair. Something like... No, it's more red than that. I think a bit brighter, maybe a bit more red. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna say it's that kind of color. And the dress was definitely red. I remember that. I remember the dress, boy. That's what I was looking at as a red-blooded young lad. I was looking at the fashion that she was wearing, and the gloves are purple, I think. Although I remember they paid a lot of attention kind of giving them highlights. Like that. Yeah, boy. And then let's just grab that same flesh tone we've been using all day. Because why not? Color in her big old arse. And let me see, she's got the eyeshadow, which is going to be different to the rest of her skin tone. So give her the same red there on her lips that she has on her dress. But it'll shine on the bottom lip. Oh, I'm enjoying this too much. I'm enjoying drawing old Jess. Something like that, I want to say, and then a little bit of blue there in the eyes, and there we go. That's obviously, you know, she has a long flowy dress, kind of drawn like a mini skirt there by accident, or hot pants, but you know, it goes like, hangs down like that, and then she's got, hang on, she's got her legs like that, and the dress goes there, and she's got these giant alien legs. All right, well, there we go. That's my take on Jessica. And there we go, everyone. Those are our drawings today from the stream. And I really thank you all for suggesting them. Very, very nice of you guys to come by. And let me see. Well, Lawrence, you're welcome. Thank you for making a suggestion. And thank you for coming by and sticking through the stream. We got Jess. We got... Don't say his name 3 times. BJ. They got the triple BJ. Let's delete our construction lines there. That's from memory. It's not very accurate. She's not very accurate either, but again, it's all from memory. And we got Spidey, who I think is probably my favorite of the night. I like how Spidey came out. I think Spidey works. Destro, looking very bland. He's not happy. He's shaking his fist at you for again stealing his newspaper from his lawn. Michelangelo, from, you know, from EastEnders. Grassman, a Space Marine, Chun-Li, Chris and Zach from Hellbenders. The kid from Shelbyville with the backwards cap. No, I don't know. I'm running out of gags here. And Fred Flintstone.
Barney? My family are dead, Barney.
Hey, Fred. I don't care. I just came for your fucking cereal.
Barney? Barney, why do you keep stealing our food? My family is starving.
I don't care, Fred.
All right, you can tell. I've had my fun. You guys are so great. Thank you so much for coming by. Hey, don't mention it, Melody. It's a pleasure to come by and draw for you all. Yeah, Bart's looking pretty fat, pleasantly. You're right. Thank you for saying it was a fun stream, Davy. All right, everyone in the chat, I'm heading off. I hope you have a fantastic evening. Stay safe, guys. Take care of yourself. Don't do anything reckless. Really put yourselves and your family first over the next couple of weeks, because that's how we're all going to do it. If you make smart decisions about where you go, what you eat, whether or not you jump in the cesspool for a quick skinny dip or not, that's what's going to get us through, I think, a really rough couple of months. And then we get to moan for the rest of our lives to the young people and say, back in our days, we had rationing and hand washing, and we get to complain to the youth and bellyache self-righteously, and it's going to be a lot of fun, but we've got to get through a tough period. And I'm going to be around more. There's going to be more content on this live channel because I want to step up and I want to offer you a lot more, and hopefully give you something to tune into and drop out to, and maybe ease the next period for us all. All right, everyone, you take care. It's been a lot of fun. Bye-bye.